Just let me double dutch.
You want you to do it?
Don't tell me to double dutch.
Povich must be so confused right now.
Double dutch. Well, I'm trying to double dutch.
I'm gonna take my 2.
Maury Povich.
The Minerva got me.
Maury Povich.
I'm nervous.
Minerva.
Maury Povich.
You're the first star of the game.
So, look, Maury Povich has liked what we do, what sports writers do, what Tony Kornheiser does. I don't know why this person, who has been at the height of comedy and at the height of news, I don't know why this person would fancy us sports writers, people that he's fans of. But he will appreciate that I've got an executive producer that just botched that way. So you want to say hello to Maury Povich here?
Hey, Marvy.
Oh, boy. That's what Letterman used to call me. Marvy, Morty, Murray, anything but Maury because he was in love with my wife.
That's all Chris was doing, a Letterman reference.
A callback.
Oddly enough, I want to play this for Maury, even though, and I thank you, by the way, for joining us. That was an awkward introduction, and I should tell everybody that if you want to know more about Maury Povich's distinguished career, Pablo Torre Finds Out did a great episode with him, and I've admired his work for a long time, but also his sense of humor about what it is that he is doing. But just play the sound, our breaking news sound, and have him give us the history of it, because we were talking about it just earlier today in the show. What is the history of that?
You want me to tell you?
Yes, because they told me, but I want it from your mouth.
So when we started A Current Affair way back, we wanted a sound like 60 Minutes has its ticking clock. And so they came up with the old time sound of construction paper cutter, you used to have in elementary school, plus the swinging of a golf club put through a synthesizer, and you got the ka-chung, named after my wife.
Named after your wife, though, is the part that I don't get.
It was called the ka-chung.
Yeah, I got that part, but the part that I don't get is it actually...
Well, my wife's name is Connie Chung. Come on, Dan, you know that.
This?
I don't understand. I don't get it. It's
pretty simple. It makes sense.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So what happened? Why are you doing a podcast? How was retirement? I didn't think that you'd be back in the game on par with Maury Povich. You're getting in the podcast game. I love that your voice is still out there, but what was happening in retirement?
Retirement was great. Some stupid people came up with this idea. I used to, I kind of admired what your friend Mr. Skinner was doing. And so just when I thought I was out, they dragged me back in.
And what are you trying to do with it?
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing I'm trying to do, and you'll understand this, Dan, when I was doing this show for all 30 some years, it was all about the guests. It was all about the themes. It was all about DNA, lie detector test on out of control teenagers and stuff. And I really didn't talk about myself. And so I had this career before the show, like 30 years in journalism. And so I'm now able to kind of like reflect on what I thought about things rather than what everybody else thought.
But Andre Drummond as a guest?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a great guest. You should have him. I'll just give you one little nugget about Andre Drummond, okay? He's coming out of Connecticut as a 17-year-old high school kid. He's like the number one kid in the country. And Jim Calhoun at Connecticut is recruiting him. And he's trying to stay in high school one more year. Finally, he says, okay, I'll go to the University of Connecticut. He walks in and Calhoun says, I'm really happy to see you here. I got to take a scholarship away from somebody and give it to you. And so Drummond went to his mother. They didn't have any money, but his mother said, that's not right. Drummond said, that's not right. In fact, the scholarship that was being taken away was with a guy that he knew. And so he and his mother took out a loan and he walked on, saved the guy the other scholarship. Pretty good, huh?
People don't actually understand when that gets to the NBA at 20 years old and all of a sudden it's looking past its coach, Stan Van Gundy, and taking instructions from his mom in the stands because that relationship is stronger than any other that he'll ever have.
Yeah, and he's 13 or 14 years into the game. I think he's been paid over $150 million. He takes pay cuts to still play, and he plays for the 76ers.
Who have you enjoyed as a guest that has surprised you? Like if you're doing this,
my wife. Other than my wife,
you did an interview with Connie Chung.
Oh yeah, well Tori did one too. I mean, talking to my wife it's like an old, it's like an old Burns and Allen show. I mean, you never know what the hell is going to happen, and you never know what's going to come out of her mouth, and so there's nothing to prepare for when you talk to her, and it turned out okay, I guess.
Greg Cody, do you want to tell us about Burns and Allen?
No, Maury, when you said that, my ears lit up. I mean, George Burns and Gracie Allen. I mean, who doesn't know them?
Why did your ears light up?
Because my eyes were already awake, but my ears, need a little perk up, and
then and George, I play like George Burns. I'm the straight guy, and Connie's like the Gracie Allen because you never know what's coming out of her mouth.
Perfect. Great. I love the analogy. Keep them coming.
Jeremy, when did they meet? What year?
They met in 1922 and married in 1926.
Maury, this is the demo we're going for, Maury. Your podcast, this is the demo. This is what you're doing.
No.
There are going to be a lot of people our age who are dying to hear what Connie Chung has to say.
I should have never opened up that. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Meanwhile, your friends there ought to know about you and me, Dan. The first time I ever was familiar with Dan Le Batard, he was doing this has got to be 25 years ago at least, Dan. And you had this Sunday show on ESPN. You were the columnist for the Miami Herald, but you would come on Sundays, and I would be driving to the golf course to play my Sunday game, and you did 10 minutes, a monologue that was really, I mean, it was like a newspaper column on radio. And I was just so fascinated by that I had to get in touch with you. You don't do that anymore, do you?
Well, you were the only one listening to that show, which I did by myself, and now the other people do all the heavy lifting for me. I just sit in the middle of it and have everyone carry my bloated ass around.
How disappointed do you think Maury was when he was like, I'm coming on with Dan, the guy who unspooled this wonderful tapestry on the Sunday morning rides, and he's listening. Minerva.
That's right. Minerva.
You want to get in, Tony?
Michael Theodore.
Minerva. Connie,
it had a little syncopation there, and you got a song.
That was perfect timing by you. Connie Chung, your love of her. Can you explain to the audience? It's one of the great love stories. It is.
You asked me to explain. I'm not too sure I can. I can tell you this. I think, everybody says if you're in the same business, that's trouble. I think it saved our marriage. The fact that we understood what we were doing, we understood what had to happen, the fact that we would be separated a lot because she would be running around the world and I would be doing something else. And I think that more than anything else, that we understood where we were coming from. And secondly, if you don't have a sense of humor, you got no shot. And she has one of the great senses of humor. And so that works. However, I say that all arguments end when the head hits the pillow at night. And she says, I hold a grudge all the time.
Can you sort of explain to the audience when you're talking about sense of humor? I can't imagine that the two of you are watching today's news coverage and the state of American news and doing very much laughing.
Well, it's what we're really happy about is that we're not in it. It would be very difficult to be in the news business these days in terms of trying to be objective and trying to be fair. It is so crazy, and news media is just gone off the rails. I don't think there is one particular brand, news media brand, that is absolutely pure objective stuff. mean, even like the New York Times, with the placement of stories, with headlines and things like that. It's very difficult. I mean, you knew who my father was, Dan, and he would have a very difficult time reading the paper these days.
I can't imagine what your wife is feeling watching the news when you're just saying out loud, there is not an objective news source in America that Maury Povich and Connie Chung would sign up for.
Yeah, I think the closest thing would be PBS. I watch a lot of the BBC, for instance. When I want to find out what's going on in the world, I'll watch them. And Connie is, I mean, it's very depressing. She thinks it's very depressing. But there's one aspect of news, Dan, that I think is the silver lining. And that is, and you'll understand this, local news gathering. I think that's fair. I think people are very interested in what's happening in their neighborhood, and I think the local newscasts are as objective as there is in the country.
Also dying. New episodes of On Par with Maury Povich every Monday. Let's get from that kind of depressing to a lighter game. Would you attend their funeral? Let's make this difficult for Maury Povich. New episodes of On Par with Maury Povich every Monday. He's available on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts. I've always found him refreshingly honest. Consequences be damned. So make it difficult for him, Mike Ryan.
So I thought about putting Tony Kornheiser on this list, but it's very clear that Maury and Tony Kornheiser are very good friends. But the internet tells me you're just an acquaintance with Michael Wilbon. So, would you attend Michael Wilbon's funeral?
Absolutely. Yes, I would. And Michael is a dear friend. Let's put that canard to rest.
All right, I'm glad. We gotta correct AI so they can get better at this.
All right, just to be clear, because I want to press and be a good journalist, you're going even if it's in Chicago?
Wherever. I used to work in Chicago. It's a great town.
All right, you're
going.
A
great news.
I got it. All right, back off.
So you're a member, according to the internet, of the Chevy Chase Club, which
no, I am not.
So, all right, well,
okay, I am not.
All right, were you ever?
There are a lot of no. I was never. In fact, I had to kind of get. I only played at Chevy Chase Club on Mondays when the pros were off, and we went over there to play around. I'm not a member, never applied, not too sure I would get in.
Geraldo Rivera.
He's okay. Geraldo's okay.
That's not what we asked
you. Would you go to his funeral?
Would you go to his funeral? We didn't ask if he was okay.
Yeah, I'd go to Geraldo's funeral.
Because you killed him?
Yeah. Huh?
Because you'd killed him and you want to see the
No, I would not. No, I mean, Geraldo and I, we came up around the same time. I'll put it that way.
Wow. That's actually big breaking news. Lewis Black.
Oh, special. In fact, this week, he's the guest on Par with Maury Povich.
Wow. Did he impress you enough on your podcast to be like, I'm going to go to your funeral, pal?
I mean, Lewis Black is one of my dear friends. I love Lewis Black.
All right.
I'll put it this way. Lewis Black. Why are you laughing?
No, because we're playing this game very poorly with you.
I mean, it's all right. You try to find guys in his life that are on the fringe of whether or not he'd go to the funeral.
I got a lot of guys.
Maury, Dan wants to know. That's what he wants. Dan wants to know.
What I want, apparently, in order for the game to work correctly, it can't be the guy saying, of course, he's a dear friend.
All right, Dan.
We don't know who his dear friends are.
All right, Dan.
You come up with some names.
Yeah,
okay, Dan. Put it this way.
Yeah, thank you, Maury. Thank you.
I won't go to your funeral. All right.
Okay.
Whoa!
All right. So the internet tells me you're friends with a dude named Dick Pullman. And not only do I want to find out if you'd attend his funeral, but is that his real name?
Dick Pullman?
Yeah.
Yes. And he's a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and I endowed his chair.
Yeah, you did.
Trump.
Oh, boy. No. And no.
Bob Schieffer.
Bob, believe it or not, the first job Bob Schieffer had was with me at the local station in Washington. No, we've lost touch. No.
Now we're playing the game.
Yeah. You should check in on him. He was born in 1937.
Now,
with you,
now,
Schaefer.
now
There
we're
we go.
playing the game. Yes, nice work.
Chief Justice John Roberts.
Don't know him. Don't care.
See, that was
Wouldn't know where. No.
It's the
Can't reach
Chevy
out,
Chase
Maury.
Club, which apparently has nothing to do with Chevy Chase.
The
actor.
internet can't be
golf course?
trusted.
Yeah,
on
you'd think.
par with Maury
No.
Povich every Monday.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you and your friend.
Don't steal this game now. I know you like it.
Yeah, you can take it for on par.